Did you know that a recent study showed over 60% of singles blame external factors for their relationship status? They say it's the dating apps, the city they live in, or even the dreaded not meeting enough people. But what if I told you that the real reason you're single might be closer to home than you think? We often overlook how our own behaviors, those subtle habits and patterns we don't even realize we have, can significantly impact our chances of finding love. Today, we're diving deep into 10 hidden behaviors that might be holding you back in your dating life. Let's address the elephant in the room, the blame game. It's easy to point fingers at external factors when it comes to our love lives, but here's the truth. While external factors can play a role, the most significant factor in your dating life is you. Think about it. Have you ever found yourself repeating the same patterns in relationships? Do you find yourself attracting the same type of person, only to be disappointed time and time again? This isn't bad luck. It's a sign that there might be some underlying behaviors driving your choices. Blaming external factors might feel comforting in the short term, but it prevents us from taking responsibility for our own happiness. The moment we stop pointing fingers and start looking inward is the moment we unlock the power to change. It's about recognizing that you have more control over your dating life than you think. So are you ready to stop making excuses and start making changes? Let's dive into the behaviors that might be holding you back. Now, I'm all for having standards. Knowing what you want in a partner is essential, but there's a fine line between having standards and being too picky. And let's be honest, sometimes we cross that line without even realizing it. Think about the last time you swiped left on a dating app. Was it a genuine deal breaker, or were you hyper-focused on superficial details? We live in a world of instant gratification where we can filter our potential partners with a few taps on a screen, but this often leads us down a rabbit hole of unrealistic expectations. Maybe you're afraid of settling, or perhaps you're subconsciously pushing people away because you don't feel worthy of love. By clinging to an impossible checklist, you might be overlooking someone truly incredible. Remember, love isn't about finding a perfect person. It's about finding someone perfect for you. Confidence is sexy. There's no denying that. But true confidence goes far beyond a swagger or a witty pickup line. It's about believing in your worth, owning your value, and knowing you deserve to be loved. When you lack confidence, it shows. You might be hesitant to approach someone you're attracted to, or you might downplay your accomplishments on a date. This lack of self-assurance can be a major turn-off because it suggests that you don't see your own worth. Start by focusing on your strengths. What are you passionate about? What makes you unique? Embrace your imperfections too, because they're part of what makes you, you. Believe it, and others will too. You've matched, you've exchanged a few messages, and now you're staring at your phone, wondering what to say next. Sound familiar? In the age of emojis and memes, it's easy to forget the importance of genuine communication. But here's the thing. Deep connections aren't built on superficial conversations. It's about being vulnerable, sharing your thoughts and feelings, and truly listening to what the other person has to say. Poor communication skills can manifest in many ways. Maybe you're a chronic over-texter, sending novel-length messages that leave the other person feeling overwhelmed. Or perhaps you're the opposite, closed off and reluctant to share anything personal. Be open and honest about your feelings, but also respect the other person's space. Ask engaging questions, listen actively, and don't be afraid to show your true colors. Remember, a relationship is a two-way street. We build walls around our hearts, convinced that these barriers will protect us from getting hurt. But here's the irony. Those very walls we construct to keep pain out also keep love out. Vulnerability is often mistaken for weakness, but it's actually the bravest thing you can do. It takes courage to show your true self, imperfections and all, and to trust someone else with your heart. When you're afraid of vulnerability, you might engage in surface-level conversations, avoid talking about your feelings, or even push people away before they get too close. Letting your guard down doesn't mean pouring your heart out to a stranger on the first date. It's about gradually opening up, sharing pieces of yourself, and allowing the other person to do the same. It's about creating a safe space for intimacy to blossom. Remember, true love thrives in an environment of trust and vulnerability. Have you ever caught yourself saying things like, "all the good ones are taken," or "I'm just unlucky in love"? These seemingly harmless statements can actually be incredibly detrimental to your dating life. Negativity is a powerful force. When you approach dating with a pessimistic attitude, you're more likely to notice the bad and overlook the good. You might find faults where none exist, or you might sabotage potential relationships before they even begin. This negativity often stems from past experiences. Maybe you've been hurt before, and now you're afraid of getting hurt again. But it's important to remember that not all relationships are the same. Shifting your perspective takes conscious effort. Start by challenging your negative thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking, "I'll never find someone," reframe it to, "I'm open to the possibility of finding love." Choose to focus on the positive, and you'll be amazed at how your dating life transforms. We've all been fed the fairy tale, the whirlwind romance, the grand gestures, the happily ever after. While these stories are undeniably romantic, they often set us up for disappointment in the real world. Unrealistic expectations can manifest in many ways. You might have a rigid idea of what your ideal partner should look like, how they should behave, or even how your love story should unfold. But life, as we know, rarely goes according to plan. When our expectations don't match reality, we set ourselves up for frustration and resentment. We become fixated on finding someone who fits a mold rather than appreciating the unique individual in front of us. Embrace the imperfections, the unexpected twists and turns, and allow yourself to be surprised. Finding love requires effort. It's not going to magically happen while you're binge-watching your favorite show on the couch, although, wouldn't that be nice? You have to be proactive, put yourself out there, and create opportunities for connection. This doesn't mean you need to go on 5 dates a week or become a social butterfly overnight. It's about making small but consistent efforts. Join a club or group that interests you, strike up conversations with people you meet, and say yes to social invitations, even when you'd rather stay in. Making an effort also means being present and engaged on dates. Put your phone away, listen attentively, and ask meaningful questions. Remember, finding love is a two-way street. In the age of dating apps and social media, it's easier than ever to fall into the trap of overanalyzing. We dissect every text message, obsess over every like and comment, and spend countless hours trying to decipher hidden meanings. But here's the thing. Overanalyzing often leads to misinterpretations and unnecessary anxiety. We create narratives in our heads that might not reflect reality, and we drive ourselves crazy trying to find answers where there are none. Overanalyzing can stem from insecurity or a fear of rejection. We might overthink things because we're trying to protect ourselves from getting hurt. The key to overcoming overanalyzing is to stay present and trust your gut. Pay attention to how the person makes you feel, rather than getting caught up in their every word or action. If you're unsure about something, don't be afraid to ask for clarification. Sometimes, the biggest obstacle to finding love is ourselves. We might subconsciously engage in behaviors that sabotage our chances of happiness because deep down, we don't believe we deserve it. Self-sabotage can manifest in various ways. We might pick fights with partners over trivial matters, we might push away perfectly good people, or we might constantly seek out flaws to confirm our belief that we're not worthy of love. This behavior often stems from past experiences or deeply ingrained insecurities. It's a defense mechanism we develop to protect ourselves from getting hurt. But in the process, we end up hurting ourselves even more. Recognizing self-sabotaging behaviors is the first step towards breaking free. Once you're aware of your patterns, you can start to challenge the negative beliefs that are driving them. Remember, you deserve love. So, there you have it. 10 behaviors that might be holding you back in your dating life. The good news is that self-awareness is the first step towards change. Now that you're aware of these potential pitfalls, you can start making conscious choices to break free from these patterns. Which behavior resonated with you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. By understanding ourselves better, by challenging our limiting beliefs and embracing vulnerability, we open ourselves up to a world of possibility. Now that you've taken this step towards self-awareness,